Twitter supports far-left extremism. What else am I supposed to believe when posts like this come to my attention? Here you can see on Twitter from a user named Panic in the Discord. In the wake of the murders at the hashtag Kenosha protests, we have an Antifa group that supports Antifa, that supports far-left extremism, doxing and deplatforming conservatives who donated for Kyle Rittenhouse's defense fund. And this is all on Twitter. Up right now. I'm talking people's personal information, their phone numbers, their names, their employers, all on Twitter. So what do you expect me to believe? That Twitter does not support far-left extremism? That CEO, Jack Dorsey, is not a empathizer, sympathizer, and enabler of Antifa, a group that's been going out on America's streets and causing chaos, mayhem, and suffering. He's also donated to groups that fund the riots in the streets. So you want me to believe that Twitter does not endorse this, because all of these posts are still up. They are breaking the law. Here you can see Panic in the Discord. In the wake of the murders at hashtag Kenosha protests, American Wolf, and they go on to disparage this group, labeling it as like far right. Well, guess what? It's not. Look, as far as I know, American Wolf, it's a group of armed citizens who set up their own militia to protect protesters, conservative protesters, from violent left-wing activists like Antifa, BLM, and protect them from violence. That's, I mean, I don't know a lot about this group, but we know this. The far left is always calling everyone who opposes them bigots or far right or an ism or an ist. That's what they do. They label everyone something bad. They're speaking out of their ass. It's baloney. So they go on to say, add fundraiser for hashtag Kyle Rittenhouse, who killed 2 and injured 1. Okay, and they even admit, before the campaign was deplatformed, we captured donor info and exposed them. Today, we tell all of their employers. So, they're openly talking about this Antifa group, and I believe they call themselves, and if you look in their bio here, it says, beating back the fascist creep. Using fascism. Have tips on local nationalists? Reach out anonymously at Panic in the Discord at riseup.net. So they're far-left extremists, they're operating on Twitter, and Twitter is letting them. Now, these people are breaking the law, they're doxing people, they're deplatforming people. I find it absolutely amazing that they're allowed to operate like this. Here we see the archive of the deplatformed fundraiser for Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, for those of you wondering who Kyle Rittenhouse is, he was an armed citizen defending businesses and people in the Kenosha riots. You see, far-left activists, Antifa and BLM, were trying to burn the city down. So American patriots like Kyle came to protect the businesses. However, he was violently attacked by a leftist mob. He was attacked by 3 felons who attempted to take his gun and his life. One of them tried to smash his head in with a skateboard. Another one had a handgun and was about to shoot him. Kyle Rittenhouse acted in self-defense. And the far left, they're absolutely angry. In their view, Kyle was just an evil, bad guy. Yeah, I didn't know that defending your life from violent extremists of the far left was a bad thing. Because they are the far left. They are the bad guys. They think they're the heroes. So this shows how they took down this fundraiser. I don't know if it was them specifically, but it was deplatformed. Now, they use this to dox people and get their personal information. So we have an entire thread of this. The first thing they post is, first, background. Who is American Wolf? The hosting fascist group. Washington researchers and reporters have been writing on them for months. Yeah, and you can bet it's nothing but slander. They say too long didn't read, militia wannabe chuds who locals have likened to the hashtag Proud Boys. Now, there's a pattern that you notice when it comes to left-wingers talking about militias. Armed citizens defending businesses from being burned down are not far right. A lot of these people are simply conservatives. Conservatives who want to stop the riots and stop the madness. Who want to protect people from the violent far left mob. And that's what they are. Oh boy. So if I go to American Wolfpack on Facebook, I do not really see a lot, but I guess we can look at the kind of content they post to find out who they are. And let's see. Proud to be a deplorable. Proud to wave the flag. Proud to call America my country. Proud to call Trump my president. If you ask me, this seems like typical boomer conservative memes. You know, Facebook memes. Not very spicy, just regular stuff. Regular old patriotism. And this is the group that they were calling far right. They're lying. Okay, I think it's that simple. Here's another post. Dear police officers, you can't hear us now because of all the noise, but there are millions of Americans who love and appreciate you. American flag. Oh my goodness. Truly, this group is the right-wing villains, the right-wing thugs. Yeah, surely they're the bad guys. But I don't really know, okay? I'm not affiliated with this group. I have no idea what they're really about. But according to what I've seen, it seems like the Antifa activists are lying. Once again, because that's what they do. I actually really like one of these memes. Where'd it go? This one. I actually really like this meme. It says, it doesn't need to be rewritten. It needs to be reread. Referring to the Constitution, and that's actually a really, really good point. The Constitution itself is fine the way it is. We've already made amendments to it. We've already made progress. The Democrats don't need to rewrite the Constitution. They simply need to reread it because they don't even know their own rights. They don't know the Constitution. More importantly, what they want is to destroy our America, our Constitution, and replace it with their communist Marxist utopia. So then they begin to dox and censor people, and it's amazing that Twitter actively supports this terroristic activity. They go on to say, second, to everyone considering reporting our tweets to @TwitterSupport, info was found because donors posted Facebook pics on the fascist fundraiser for a murderer, creating an easy trail to their public social medias. Knock knock, it's the consequences of your own actions. Oh god, these smug, you just know that there's this 500-pound, greasy, never had a girlfriend, virgin, very, very fat Antifa guy. You know, he's got the El Guevara, what's his name, on his wall, the little flag with the guy. You know, the books about communism and socialism and how it's never really been tried. And, you know, they're just total cringe. Man, yeah. You want to talk about the consequences of your own actions. You see, people who are self-righteous, they're always going to say things like this. Well, you should have thought about that before you did something. It's your fault. Well, you deserved it. What about what you deserve? Because I, for one, do believe that we should live in a world where people get what they deserve. Here's the thing. How do you know what you deserve? Because I think you deserve to be shut down. First of all, you need to be banned for advocating for harming others. You need to be banned for doxing and breaking the law. Why aren't people reporting this to the FBI, to the authorities, to someone? Report it to Trump. Report it to Tucker Carlson. Hannity. I'm sure there's many people who want to know about these terrible actions, and please explain how they're lying. Kyle is not a murderer. He was defending his life. It's self-defense. It's a textbook case. He is innocent. Meanwhile, a Antifa member and also BLM supporter, Michael Reinl, killed a Trump supporter in Portland. Killed him in cold blood, unprovoked. It wasn't self-defense. They simply pointed out a Trump supporter and shot him dead. He was unarmed. All he had was a can of pepper spray. He lived in Portland, by the way. But no, they're gonna dox people who are trying to support someone who's being unfairly persecuted by the left-wing mob and by the left-wing media bias. So down below, they begin to dox people, and I'm gonna have to, I don't know, I might have to block this out. No, I'm gonna have to block this out. Okay, I'm just gonna blur the page. Sorry for the inconvenience here, but I'll kind of describe what the tweet says. They name someone, they name where they live, they name the company they work at, they name how much they donated to Kyle Rittenhouse, and then they put his email address and his phone number. This is straight up terror. These are terroristic tactics by Antifa extremists. And Twitter is supporting all of it. All of it. Because they have not taken these people down. They're supporting this. It's absolutely incredible. I'm witnessing crimes on social media, on Twitter, and Jack Dorsey is nowhere to be found. Twitter supports left-wing extremists. They endorse it. They accept it. They like it. They're also review bombing. So one of the people has a business called Razor's Edge LLC, and they're review bombing. Yeah, they're pretty much trying to get people fired for donating to Kyle Rittenhouse. He was a minor who did nothing wrong and was attacked by 3 violent men. You know the people that Panic in the Discord is defending? Well, they're defending felons. First of all, the 3 people who were shot and injured by Kyle Rittenhouse were all felons with criminal histories. One of them was a domestic abuser, you know, beating your wife. Not a big deal. As long as you're a left-winger, it's okay if you beat your wife. Yeah, great job. Another one was a convicted child molester. And not just 1 child. 5. Yep. And you want me to have sympathy? You want me to call Kyle a murderer, even though he was defending his own life, acting perfectly in the legal requirements of self-defense. Left-wingers are insane, dirty, twisted people. And it's so funny to me because they do not realize they're the bad guys. But you know how it is. Bad guys always think that they're the heroes of the story. I'm sorry, but you're not. You're the bad guys. Just how it is. Bad guys are the ones who do things like this. You know what Antifa reminds me of, folks? It reminds me of the groups that the bad men from World War II used to employ. The brown shirts. What do they want to do now? So their goal was to defund the police so that they could destroy things and intimidate people to institute their ideology. Huh. Doesn't that kind of sound like Antifa defunding the police? We're gonna replace the system? That's the same thing that BLM has talked about. Antifa are the modern brown shirts. They say they're anti-fascist, but really, that's just a label they hide behind. They are the fascists of today. So, there's tweet after tweet here of Panic in the Discord doxing people, calling to get people fired from their jobs because they dared to defend Kyle Rittenhouse. You know what? I want you to report it. I want you to send it to conservative platforms that have a bigger platform than me. Send it to Tucker Carlson, President Trump, whoever you want. But these people cannot be allowed to continue. This isn't the first time that they've done this, and it won't be the last. And I also think people should contact Twitter. Why does Twitter support left-wing extremists? Why does Twitter endorse Antifa? I think these are the obvious questions to ask. They go on to thank all of the people who made this possible at Anti-Fash Gordon. There's some notable names in here. Rose City Antifa, NYC Antifa, and so on and so forth. These people are violent terrorists. And that's what they are. That's what Antifa is. And I'm sure they're not going to like being called out. But you know what, Antifa? You know what, Panic in the Discord? I am a member of 2 protected classes. 2. Not 1. 2. And I disavow and am offended and disgusted by you. You're bad people. You are oppressors. You have privilege. You're not on my side. You're not fighting for my rights. You're fighting to destroy freedom. You're fighting to take away my rights. Freedom of speech, the right to work, the right to live a American life. All of these things you're trying to take away because these people have different beliefs than you. See, you're not American. You don't support Americanism. You want to take all of our civil liberties away from us. So no, you are not on the right side of history. You are on the wrong side of history, and you are the bad guys. Because of you, someone like me would lose my rights and lose my freedom. And I don't know about you, but I refuse to be a slave. So you know what? I disavow you guys. You're sick. You're disgusting. For the love of God, Twitter, do the right thing and shut down this account and expose the people running the account to the authorities. Will Twitter do the right thing? I guess it remains to be seen. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? As always, if you want to support the work I do, you can join me on Patreon or Subscribestar. If you want to donate, there's Donorbox and Crypto. And lastly, you can help me most by simply sharing this video. The channel needs room to grow, and why not visit my sponsor, Virtue Signal the card game. I'll include a link in the description. It's a parody of social justice activism, and I think it's really relevant today. You know, it's a good party game, good for your friends. If you're quarantined at home, might be a fun way to pass the time. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.